Hi, welcome to ZGadgetReview. The new edition of the more affordable Nothing earbuds has released. The new Nothing Ear 3A wireless earbuds were released in July 7, 2026, and they currently retail for $99. This time around, I got them in white. Since the previous model, I got them in black. I wanted to mix it up a bit.
It is my morning coffee right there. We have here the earbuds in their paper. Let's see what's in here. These are the instructions and your QR code in order to download the app. Instructions on how to use the earbuds as well. So you say ear tips. And I thought there was a charging cable in here, as you can see there. So no charging cable with these earbuds.
As you can see, the earbuds retain that translucent plastic that Nothing has become known for. The color actually looks really nice. The white ones look a lot nicer than I expected them to look. And to me, they look more premium. You can also get these earbuds in pink, yellow, and black. I also really like all the little design details included on the earbuds that are not immediately apparent. Let's talk about some of the specs of the earbuds. The earbuds have a 12mm driver. They support LDAC, high-res audio, as long as your phone or device that you're using them with is compatible. They have Bluetooth 6.0. They are IP54 rated for water resistance, and that's not only the earbuds, but also the case. They support active noise canceling, phone recording on the earbuds, and pinch controls. The earbuds are very light, and I will say that they are bean-shaped with a stem attached to them. I found that thinking about them that way was much easier when I put them in my ears in order to get the right fit. The earbuds were comfortable when wearing them for long periods of times. If you haven't seen previous reviews, I usually wear earbuds throughout my day while I'm at work. So usually for a full 8-hour shift. At no point was I uncomfortable or had any pain while wearing them. The case has kind of an oval shape, I will say like a pill shape in a way, with a squarish lid. It matches the white color of the earbuds with a translucent lid, so you can admire your earbuds while they're charging. The lid of the case feels sturdy, and I think that the hinge is large enough to keep the lid from swinging side to side. The hinge is also made out of metal, which I feel gives it some sturdiness. On the side of the case, you'll find your USB-C port, which of course is your charging port. Here is a great design from Nothing. When you open the lid to the right hand side, you'll see the pairing button that matches the white color of the case but doesn't get lost. To the left, you'll see the light bar for battery level. This makes it so helpful when you're charging the case. And I really appreciate that. The reason is because you no longer have to guess how far along the charging is in the case. I wish that every single company going forward adopted that, because it will make it so much easier. Nothing retains the way that earbuds fit in the case in order to charge. If you're coming from one of those cases where you actually insert the earbuds, there is a little bit of a learning curve on how to get them to charge in the case. There were a couple of times when I put the earbuds where the contacts weren't perfectly aligned, and of course that caused some issues with charging. But again, that only happened a couple of times. Let's talk about sound. The sound of the earbuds is great. Everything was clear. The sound space felt big. I could hear every instrument of every track that I listened to. And I also heard some things that I hadn't heard before. I was actually surprised when that happened. I was listening to, I can't remember which song exactly, but I was like, hold on, I haven't heard that. That caught me by surprise because, again, it was unexpected. The earbuds have a full equalizer that you can access through the app. That means that you can tinker with the sound to your heart's content. Or if you want to, you can stick with the simple equalizer that is also part of this package. It also comes with preloaded presets. I didn't find the presets good. I decided to just do my own because I feel like I can tailor the sound the way I like. Bass is good. It's not very heavy. I will say that to me, it's the right amount of bass. Again, because of the equalizer, you can tailor the bass to what you prefer. If you want to max out on the bass, I'm sure you can do that. The earbuds support spatial sound. If you're going to use spatial sound, equalizer will be deactivated, and they also recommend you to deactivate spatial sound on your phone if your phone supports it. I have a Android phone, an actual Pixel 10, which does support spatial sound, and I deactivated spatial sound before trying this out. When watching content with action scenes, the action felt punchy and balanced. The one thing I didn't like about the spatial sound feature is that it adds fake echo to everything. Podcasts, movies, TV shows, or music. And I found that a bit annoying because I know what the music that I listen to is supposed to sound like. And that fake echo that was added to it was distracting. So I went, after testing it for a while, I deactivated the feature and never used it again. The Nothing Ear 3A came with a special new feature, which is recording phone calls. The way you do it is you pinch on both earbuds and then it's going to start recording. If you're on a phone call, it will announce to you and the caller, or however many people are on the call, that a recording is going to take place. You can choose to record up to 2 hours on a phone call, or if you want to just do clips, you can also do clips of like 30, 15 seconds, 60 seconds. And this is what it sounds like.
So here I'm testing out the phone call recording feature that the earbuds have. This allows you
Sorry, we didn't catch that. To access your voicemail, please enter
record
PIN followed by the pound key.
phone calls if you want to. You get a little notification that the phone calls being recorded. As you can hear, I'm using my voicemail to make this recording. I have the TV on. It's actually pretty loud.
We didn't catch that.
I have the active noise cancelling on as well. To give you an idea of what a phone call will sound like if you are in a semi-loud space. Like again, for example, my living room with the TV on, and you're making a phone call, you have a recording telling you you're having trouble.
As you can see there from the app, you can download what I'm assuming is an AI model in order to get transcripts of the recordings. But of course, nothing figured out a way to monetize this feature. So if you see there, if you choose the pro version of the transcripts, you get 3 months for free. After that, you will be charged a monthly fee. Earbuds come equipped with 32 megabytes of storage, and the moment the earbuds sync with the app or your phone, the recordings get transferred to the app, aka your phone. Low lag mode on these earbuds is great. I was so happy with it. If you've ever used Bluetooth earbuds, you probably noticed that if you're watching video, the sound and the video are out of sync. And that's because there is a lag between the video and the sound. This pretty much eliminates the lag to the point that I was able to use these earbuds to edit. And usually with Bluetooth earbuds, that's a no-no. The earbuds also offer dual connectivity. You do have to activate it in the app, but once you activate it, you can switch between sources very easily. I have this connected to my phone and my laptop, and if I was doing something on my laptop and I got a phone call, the sound immediately switched to the phone call. And then when the phone call was over, if I started working on my laptop again, the sound will come from the laptop to the earbuds. It was seamless. The pinch controls are fast. The response is pretty much immediate. I am used to having a wait of about 3 seconds between my action on an earbud and what happens on the phone. I didn't have that issue with this. With this, the moment you press play, whatever you were listening to played. I also really like that I was able to control the volume with the earbuds, which usually does not happen. If you have Bluetooth earbuds, usually the volume is not something you can control with them. I use an Android phone, and that's usually what my experience is with an Android phone. Pinch controls do have a learning curve, especially if you're coming from tapping and swiping on earbuds. It will take you a couple of days to get used to them. I would recommend you to play around with them, customize them the best way you want them. I really appreciate the tactile feedback that you get every time you press on them to do something. Active noise cancelling was great. It was amazing to step out into a noisy environment, activate the active noise cancelling, and pretty much hearing everything disappear except what I was listening to. It felt like being in a private room where it was just me and the content in my ears. And it was also great to be able to get out of the noise cancelling if I had to pay attention to my surroundings. Battery life was okay. It wasn't great. I consider 6 hours of battery life on a pair of earbuds great. And the reason is because I've gotten that before from other earbuds. This fell a little short, and I will also say a bit inconsistent. The reason is because the longest that the battery lasted was 5 hours and 29 minutes. So almost 5.5 hours, which I know you're probably like, what are you talking about? That's good. I'm not saying that it's bad, but there were also times that I got less than that. The least amount of time that I got with the battery was 5 hours and 13 minutes. Again, that's not terrible because you can technically rely on this giving you 5 hours steady without problems, which means, again, bringing me back to the whole thing about wearing earbuds throughout the day while I'm at work, an immediate recommend if you are looking for something for work. And the reason is because it covers you for most of the day. If you get the 5 hours and 29 minutes, you're covered for most of your shift. These take only an hour to recharge once they're put in the case. So if you go on your lunch break or you have a meeting or something like that, this will most likely recharge to the point that you won't need to recharge them until you're home, assuming that you work an 8-hour shift with an hour lunch. We're talking about 9 hours. Of course, if you work an 8-hour shift with a 30-minute lunch, even better. Now, if you're a casual user of earbuds, meaning that you use them to work out or when you go on a walk or, you're out running errands, this will also cover you. Let's talk about the app, also known as Nothing X. Nothing Ear 3A, they're both at 100%. Here you have your noise cancellation feature. You can choose 3 different modes: noise cancellation, transparency, and off. And you also can choose how high the noise cancellation is, from low, middle, high, or adaptive. Then you have your spatial sound. Here's where the recordings will be that you make with the earbuds. Your equalizer, here's you can go from simple, advanced, or explore. Controls, here's where you can control your pinch controls. I would recommend you to do that. Also, there is a bit of a learning curve for them. Here's where you can learn them or change them. Low lag mode, dual connection. Here, as you can see, my laptop and my phone are connected. Device settings is where you can change your high quality audio. I have it as LDAC. In-ear detection, that means that whatever you're listening to will stop once you pull out your earbuds and then resume once you put them back in. If you don't like this feature, you can turn it off here. You can do your ear tip test here to make sure that you have the best fit of the earbuds. If not, you need to change the ear tips. The ear tips that come pre-installed are medium size. Find My Earbuds, of course, is the way you will find your earbuds if you misplace them. And then in the about is where you can go and update your firmware. Now, not everything is perfect here because I do have a couple of complaints. My first complaint is that there was an issue with the way the earbuds lost their battery. The left earbud was constantly 5% ahead of battery usage than the right one, meaning that when the battery died on the left earbud, the right earbud still had 5% left of battery. So there was also always that 5% disparity. No matter how many times I recharged it, no matter how many times I disconnected it or reconnected it, that 5% difference continued, which can be annoying because, if you're listening to something that's stereo, then you lose one and just have the other one. Usually the difference between one going away, the left one going away, and the right one going away was a 10-minute difference. The other thing that I think can be a little nitpicky is that the case this time around feels a little bigger than I expected it. It definitely feels a little chunkier, maybe because of the shape, and it felt a little bigger than I was expecting it in my pocket. Now, it wasn't huge where I couldn't fit my phone because in the pocket that I have my earbuds, I also have my phone, but I could definitely feel that this was a little bigger than I expected it to be. I also wish the battery life was longer, especially for the price point. Now let's check if they will stay in place. If you've never seen my videos before, I always check to make sure that the earbuds will stay in your head if you're in a situation where you're running, working out, and things like that. So let's run this test in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, got myself dizzy there. They stayed on. No issues. They passed the test. Would I recommend them? Yes. Despite the fact that the battery is lower than I would want it to be at this price point, we're talking $99, the package that this offers to me is worth it. The sound, the features, the fact that they'll stay in your ears, and the fact that they are pretty compact where you can put them in your pocket, backpack, purse is also great. So yes, I will recommend them because the sum of its parts make it worthwhile. Do you have any questions about the Nothing 3A that I haven't answered in this review? Do you have any other earbuds that you can recommend us if we're looking for earbuds, for example, for work? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, it really helps the channel. Go ahead on, hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have the videos. And thank you very much for watching.